Alright, we're going to be watching Slobodon, who's playing mostly Diva, some Winston, and a very tiny amount of Jungle Queen at the very end of the game. This is Platinum 3 on PC. Plat Tank VOD review request: couldn't carry a gold game. I'm not usually a my team guy, but this game was significantly lower rated, and I feel like you could really feel it in the way people played. I'm not sure what to say exactly. I had like 1 or 2 tilt deaths, and I guess that was enough to lose. The other tank was playing low ground main most of the game and beat me on the scoreboard. I feel like for the most part I did my job, and we often lost fights where I had started with the pick, or we lost fights where I got pulled out of getting picked by my Life Weaver. If anyone's down to roast me and show me how wrong I am, please do. It seems insanely hard to win when the whole team falls apart around a Reaper pressing W, or Moira damaging them. I am mad because I can hold my own fine in plat games, but I've had multiple of these games rated 1 tier below my rank where I lose. Okay, so I've seen this entire game. I don't think anything from this game jumped out to me as your team problem. I think your core issue revolves around knowing exactly what you need to be doing as Diva at any given moment in time. And in particular, I think you are allergic to brawling. I feel like you've read the advice that you should target the supports, and you only target the supports. Like, you really don't want to shoot the tank at all, even when the tank is very overextended, or you could like easily kill the tank, and you will sometimes let the tank run into your team and start killing your team, and will just keep waiting for the supports to come and help the tank so that you can go kill the supports instead of just killing the tank. And I think the first point in particular is really going to signify like how problematic this is, and then I think you just kind of get thrown into you're just kind of on the back foot from there. So that's kind of number one. You play Diva all through defense, I believe, and then on offense, I think you play Winston, maybe a little bit of Diva, and then that goes reasonably well. I think that you're just like 12 seconds or something behind their time. Both teams full cap for the final push, and then I think your first offense goes poorly, and then you don't get any progress, and then they cap it on the end. So it really comes down. I think they cap it with like no time remaining, something like that. Nope. You still got a minute left. So you're gonna need to basically you need to win at least 2 more team fights to win this game, right? At least 2 team fights to win this game. So it's not like the closest of games, but it's also not like that far, right? This well within. I think the vast majority of games, despite people complaining about steamrolls, the vast majority of games are usually decided within 3 team fights. So I think this would qualify. It's definitely within 3, within 2, depending on how long it takes them to set up. So let's focus first on your Diva play. Number 1 is I like to start out here. And especially as Diva, where you have 0 chance of getting slept and getting picked here, I would literally stand out here, look at what the enemy team is, and then ping or call it out in voice. Because it's so helpful to know what the enemy lineup is so that your team can play accordingly. So for example, if you have like an Ashe or Soldier on your team, like in this sim, you might play here, but if you know that they have like, let's say, Doom, Genji, Pharah, you might not want to play here, and you might want to be ready to back off right away because you're scared of getting picked. Just something to think about. And as a tank, in this case, you're playing Diva, so you can really go anywhere. But if I'm like a brawl tank, like let's say I'm forcing like Rhine here, I really need to know where I need to be. It's like very, very important to be like, okay, do I need to be here? Do I need to be main? Do I need to be covering under? Do I need to cover coast? Like whatever it is, I need to know what they are and where they're going is very, very helpful. Regardless, I mean, this is still fine. So they're going to come up over here. And for the record, your DM does not go that far. So I'm going to pause right here. Yeah, so you see, this is still very much short of the Mercy, right? This is still like 10 meters plus, almost 15 meters, short of the Mercy. I'm just noting that so that you know for future reference, DM does not go that far. Alright. So here they come. Yeah, you jumped out, I think you're trying to make sure to help your Mercy, which is fine. You sit high ground, which is fine. Right, this is all, I think, pretty much fine. Nothing super protected. I would shoot the Orisa right now. There's no reason not to. I would have DM'd that Javelin as well. Okay, Reaper's here, and you immediately go for the Reaper. This is the right call. You force Wraith right away. The problem is you use missiles here. You should not use missiles here. Why? Golden rule of Overwatch is, when you look at an enemy, always assume they have all of their cooldowns, abilities, available unless you have seen or heard them use it. So this Reaper, who just came out of presumably like tunnel or something, walks onto the point, already down 1/3 of his health. What does he probably think is going to happen here? Well, he probably thinks he's going to try to pressure the back line, then he's going to get low, then he's going to use Wraith, and then he's going to run over here to get healed by his team, or he's going to run back here and get the mega health back, okay? So there's no world where I want to activate missiles right now, because he's going to Wraith basically immediately. See? And now your missiles are popped, and now your missiles are wasted, right? So that's like a minor thing, but it's more indicative of a larger problem that you're not thinking about it, right? I really want you to think before you pop missiles, am I actually going to be able to land these missiles? Because your missile accuracy all game is pretty poor. And sometimes it's because you're not aiming right, but sometimes you're doing it because the enemy team's going to get away right away, or you're not in the right angle, or whatever it is, and your missiles aren't going to land. But missiles are a very important part of D.Va's toolkit, and you have to get good at using them. Missiles do about 75 damage a second for a second and a half or so. It's a lot of damage. Combined with her guns, it's about 215 damage per second for the first second and a half while missiles are up, which is a lot of damage. That is a ton of damage. Just killing a squishy is under 1 second with no headshots. So, you chase the Reaper off, that's good. Now you're next to the Orisa, which is also good. This is totally fine, especially since your soldier's here for some reason. So now, what's your plan? Shoot the Orisa. Why should I shoot the Orisa? Well, what else am I gonna do? You know what I mean? Like, I don't have boosters here. I don't have boosters. I don't have missiles. I have DM, but like no one's shooting at me right now. So why don't I just shoot the Orisa? As a reminder, D.Va does 144, I think, damage per second. Orisa does, I think, 132-ish, something like that. So you're in the right general ballpark of damage. But one thing to note here is that your guns are hit scan, and her guns are projectiles. Now, she's probably going to land all her shots on you, but you're probably going to land more headshots on her if you're just aiming for the head in this situation. Regardless, this Orisa is getting shot at by you and your Lifeweaver and the Echo here in a second, which means there's a lot more people shooting at the Orisa than there are shooting at you. So there's no reason not to shoot the Orisa in this situation. Again, you underestimate how much damage D.Va does even against tanks at close range. D.Va actually outdamages Rein by a lot. Rein only does 85 damage a second. D.Va does 144. Rein obviously has fire strikes, which helps a lot. But just noting, like, D.Va does a lot of damage at close range. Like, you're at full damage range right now. So you don't engage the Orisa very long. You're gonna DM your soldier here, which is okay. I don't think I feel like he's in any actual danger here. The Mercies are already pocketing him. My Lifeweaver can see him, and he's full health, and the only person looking at him is Orisa. Even if the Orisa lands Javelin here, she still can't one-shot him. So I'm not really thinking about DM right now. I'm thinking I want to shoot the Orisa because the Orisa doesn't seem to have anybody who's actually helping her, and I don't know where the rest of the team is. So I think shooting there would have been reasonable. By the way, you should have heard the Bastion right now, right? This whole time this Bastion's running around, you can hear him. You can definitely hear him. You can definitely hear him. You can for sure hear him. And then finally, at this moment in time, when he comes to the window, like, these are the audio cues you need to be listening to in your right ear. I can hear the footsteps of the Bastion, right? Then I hear him deploy, and instead of flying on high ground, now I want to DM to make sure none of my team dies, right? DM the whole thing and then fly away, because I don't want anyone to die right now. Regardless, Bastion dies, and now let's look at the situation. We have 5 people on point. We have their Reaper and Lifeweaver back here, and they have the Orisa here. What should I do right now? Well, if you listen to other people that say, always target the supports, you might think, I should go target the supports. Or you might think, wait, why don't I just kill this Orisa? There's no way she can live here. There are 5 people targeting her. It doesn't matter how tanky he is. She dies here. Flying at the Lifeweaver is actually very difficult here because the Reaper can peel you pretty easily because Reaper does a ton of damage and he's going to out-heal you. So, right here, what is the maximum amount of healing that the Orisa can get? Well, Lifeweaver heals for 55 health a second. You do, as a reminder, 140 damage a second. You do almost 3 times as much damage as the Lifeweaver does by yourself, not including the fact that you have teammates here who are helping you shoot her. She's going to die almost instantly here, especially since you're behind her and she can't block with spin, if you just shoot her right now. Like, you literally just shoot the Orisa, pop missiles, 250 damage a second, this Orisa's going to be dead so fast. Do you shoot the Orisa? You do not. And you definitely know she's there. I see that you see, like, she's on your screen after the Bastion, right? You saw her right there. You hear her and see her right now, right? You hear her, right? You still hear her. You know she's there. I definitely think you know that she's right next to you. And you're going to completely ignore this Orisa, and instead you're shooting at this Reaper. So, pop quiz. As I mentioned, at close range, you do 140-something damage a second, okay? How much damage do you think you do right now to the Reaper at this range with perfect accuracy? Like, let's imagine you had an aimbot locked. Not that, like, the aimbot's not going to change where the pellets go. It's still a spread pattern. But locked onto center mass on this Reaper. How much damage do you think you do right now? I'm going to guess, with an aimbot, you're only going to be doing something like 50 to 60 damage per second. I think in practice, you're only going to be doing about 25 to 30, right? Like, look how many pellets are missing right now. you're missing something like 70 to 90% of these pellets at this moment in time. Versus, if you shoot the Orisa, I can guarantee you that you're going to hit 90 to 100% of your pellets on this Orisa. If you're aiming at the head, you might drop the accuracy by 15-20%, but whatever pellets you are hitting are going to double in damage. So you can do up to 280, 290 damage per second with your guns alone to the Orisa by shooting her in the face. It is a way better use of your time than trying to shoot this Reaper, which is doing literally nothing. Okay, you finally shoot the Orisa. Right, DMing. I think DMing there is okay. I think you're trying to stop healing for her, which I think is fine. Yeah, I think this is fine right here. Again, I think that because you out-damage Lifeweaver, even with Fortify, right? If Fortify halves your damage, then you do 75-ish damage, right? 70 to 75 damage a second. You're still going to kill her. It's actually better than if it's only Lifeweaver healing. It's still better for you to shoot than it is to block the healing. But that's fine. I think it's still a perfectly fine instinct. There are plenty of other scenarios where it still makes sense to DM off the healing. It's fine, right? But as a result, because you don't do anything here that really threatened the Orisa for a while, she's going to get away with a fraction of health. But she should be dead right now, and that should be a 20 to 25 second stagger that's added onto the team. But that is not what you do. All right, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. I don't want to like analyze the micro stuff too much because I think we want to focus on the... You're making other mistakes right now, like at this moment in time, but it's not worth it. Like this is going to be a relatively long game anyway, so I don't want to spend time talking about all the little things. All right, so Reaper's here. You're going to force him back right away. Okay, you don't pop missiles right this time, which is good. Again, Orisa here, 140 damage a second if I just decide to shoot the Orisa in the back. It's if I pop missiles, 215 damage a second if I shoot her in the back. It hurts. It really, really hurts. Like, don't be afraid of shooting her. Okay, now you're shooting her. Okay, great, great, great. Like, you could have popped missiles there. That's fine. You go for the supports. I think right now it's fine because the supports are in. Brig's out of position. I think now's a good time to target the Brig. Okay, Reese is in. All right, whatever. You saw she's getting packed. You looked. Okay, great. There's a Brig here. You shoot her. She bashes in. She dies. 100% she dies here. There is no world where you can let this Brig live who just bashed into, right? You shield bash into 4 people. She has no ability to escape. She has no supports that can save her. She does not have rally. She dies here. The moment I see this, I immediately turn. I don't even know that I need to boost, but you could boost in to bump her even further, activate missiles, and burst kill her. If you don't know the burst kill combo, which I think you do, because I see you do it later on in the game, but like this is an easy burst. Like this Brig should be dead in the next 1.5 seconds under any world. I don't care if this is literally the #1 Brig player in the world. She cannot survive here. Like mathematically, there's nothing she can possibly do to stop you / your team from killing her. But even you solo could kill her right now. The only way that she could prevent dying from you would be to turn towards you and use her shield to absorb all of it, which opens her back to the rest of your team, which means she instantly dies here. So, just noting, you're just going to let this Brig make a huge mistake. She bashes in here, and you're just going to let her walk away. I don't really know what you're thinking here. Like, you seem so obsessed with like trying to peel like the life with like hold back the Lifeweaver instead of going after easy targets here, or even the Orisa if you wanted to shoot the Orisa. Obviously the Brig here is objectively a better choice, but I'm just noting here that like I'm not sure why you're not killing easy targets. All right, D.Va's in. You go for the Reaper. I think this is fine. Reaper's Wraithing, so Reaper Wraith is going to end roughly around here. I don't chase here because I assume there's going to be a Mega Health Pack and it's just going to reset and I can't beat him in a 1v1. It's not impossible to beat him in 1v1, but it's not worth my time to beat the one. There is like some technique to it, but I don't want to talk about it right now. So chasing the Reaper is a wrong call. He's leaving that way because he doesn't actually have Mega. If you knew he didn't have Mega, I would have chased him here and used missiles to finish him off. But that's fine, right? You go forward. Soldier kills the Reaper. Great. A good example of you wasting missiles. Okay, teleporter's here. It teleports turrets in. You don't need to pop missiles here. Just shoot it. It's fine. Like, just shoot it. You'll kill the turrets like instantly anyway. You should save missiles. Why should you save missiles? There's Lifeweavers underneath you. And that's something, it's like, you're not listening to like what's going on. It's very obvious when you're wearing a headset that there's someone who's running around to your left with footsteps, and you should be like, huh, what's down there? And look down and be like, there's a Lifeweaver? And just fly down here, bump him in the corner, pop missiles, and he dies. It's so critical as D.Va to look at a hero and think, I killed this hero right now. Because there's nothing they can do about it. This Lifeweaver, as long as he doesn't get the Mega, he dies. In fact, even if he gets the Mega, as long as nobody else interrupts us, he's still gonna die. He cannot solo you even with a Mega Health Pack. You do way too much damage and you have too much health. This is an easy kill no matter what. No, under all scenarios, you beat this Lightweaver. But you're not reading that. You're not seeing that. Like, in your mind, you're not recognizing this Lightweaver dies right now. And after I kill the Lightweaver, then I can kill the Orisa. But I would note up here, Orisa's pushing your backline. You're not doing anything right now. And this is a point that I made earlier, which is like, you just kind of chill here and you're like, it's not my job to deal with the tank. I'm just not going to deal with the tank. Even though this tank is getting no healing. No one is looking at her, right? The Lightweaver is like inside the room. The rest of the team is really far back. This Orisa's super overextended. She's trying to go after your Lightweaver, trying to go after your Echo. Like, just fly over here and kill her. What can she do? Pop cooldowns? Okay, fine. I'll kill her through the cooldowns. Like, it doesn't matter. Even if she pops Fortify, the Lightweaver heals 55 health a second. That turns into effectively 110 health a second, which you plus Echo easily kill. No problem. You alone still do no more damage. Like, you will burn the Orisa down even through that. And you can also Fortify, by the way, through, or DM rather, through a lot of our Fortify to deny all of the damage she's going to do. So you got a lot of options here to go kill the Orisa. So you're going to kill Lightweaver. This is probably when you felt frustrated that you got gripped. So this is objectively a bad grip. I don't really think there's a reason for this grip. But I think you get gripped while boosting, because I see your boosts on cooldown. Yeah, so I think you pop boost and you get... Yeah, this is unfortunate. But Lightweaver drops anyway. You should kill him right now. I probably would have popped missiles there, because a splash on the Orisa will kill the Lightweaver. I can see how low he is. See? He's down to like sub 25 health. Just pop missiles and just splash it here, splash against the wall, and the Lightweaver dies. Because the Lightweaver would have died here before he popped off Tree if you did that. Once Tree is up, you're going to be a little bit of trouble. So let's think. Tree's up. What's my game plan here? What do I want to do? Let's look at the battlefield. What do I want to do right now? Well, first of all, how many people are alive on my team? 1, 2, right? Mercy's coming back, so basically 3. 4, Lightweaver's here. 5. We got all 5 people here for the most part. What do they got? 1, 2, 3. The Reaper's definitely not here, and the Brig's here. So it's a 5-on-4 situation in your favor, arguably 4-on-4 until the Mercy gets there. And I'm playing on defense here, trying to control the point. All I need to do right now is chill. I don't need to fly anywhere. I don't need to force anything. I just sit here behind the tree and I shoot the tree. And if anybody overextends, like the Sim tries to run over here to try to teleport up top or something like that to get a kill, then I can go after her. But other than that, I just shoot the tree and wait this out. Because you're not killing anybody with tree up. Not you as a diva. Okay, so like note right here. Orisa my face? Fine. Shoot her. That's okay. I do just as much damage as she does. Like, we have comparable amounts of health. Unless she pops Fortify, there's no reason for me to not take this fight. So I might as well take the fight. I think I'm totally fine. What I don't do right here is pop boosters and then get stuck in the tree. But this is bad for a lot of various reasons. So number one, you could have been javelined out of that, which could have been put you in a lot of trouble because you don't have flight, which is effectively what happens anyway because you get stuck trying to get to the cart. Number two is it's going to prevent you from being able to react to anything that's going on in the battlefield. So I want to save the boost until something happens. Right now, your team is in a winning position. Like, if things just play out by default, your team will win here. Because your team has controlled high ground, you have all these good angles, you're just going to shoot down, and you're up by 1. This should be a 1 fight as long as nobody does anything to screw up here. But when you boost here, now you're not able to react to anything, and now you can't get an ultimate either. So now Sir Hero's just going to pop you, everyone gets sucked in, and then 2 people are going to die. Well, you lose copy, and you're going to lose the Lightweaver here. This is very unfortunate because yeah, it's hard to win now, right? You're going to be in a as soon as the Reaper gets there, you're going to be in a 3-on-5 situation. I think it's really hard to win from here no matter what you do. So the goal here is not at this point in time, okay, what could I possibly have done? For the record, again, shooting the tree would have been valuable, right? She walks over, she cares what she's doing, then fly out, go, bump the Lightweaver into the room, pop missiles, kill the Lightweaver. That's an example of something you could have done and traded the Lightweaver potentially for your Lightweaver, which would have made the fight even and potentially winnable. But you don't do that. There's a lot of different ways this could have gone, but I think that this is a good example of how things go wrong for you when you stay way too passive. Again, also the Orisa should be dead by now. Remember, you could have killed her earlier just by shooting her, and then she never gets over here to be able to walk onto the point and do this. And then trees popped, and then she's over here, and she's able to pull everybody in, and she's able to kill them. because you never killed the Orisa, even though you had chances to. So, snowball effect, butterfly effect. Okay, so we're gonna fly over here. Actually, let me see. I think this corner is good. I don't think there's a strong reason to leave this corner if all 5 people are here. All 5 people are here, fight it. Like, where are you going? Like, why do we want to go here right now versus trying to just burn resources and slow down the cart? I want them to fight to take this corner from us. And then when we start losing that fight, then I want to back up to bus. And then when I start losing that fight, then I back up to here. But if at any moment in time there's an opportunity, then I can take the fight forwards and potentially get a kill. But leaving this early, when you still have full health, like nearly full health right now, and your 2 supports around, I don't think makes any sense. Because now, as soon as you leave, the enemy's going to walk forwards as you start boosting out. Okay, see, now they start walking forwards. Orisa's going to start pressuring your Lightweaver. We see that down here. And now you get up here. Okay, that's fine, right? You're DMing, you're just kind of stall. I don't know if this script is so helpful, but also I don't know that your position was so helpful either. You're kind of not handling the core space here, which if you've been shooting the Orisa, you would actually notice the Orisa's actually very low right now. You can keep applying damage here. She's going to get lower and lower and lower. Like, you could have done a lot of damage to the Orisa here. Like, yeah, you wouldn't have contained the Reaper, but you're also not able to contain the Reaper very long by yourself anyway. Because Reaper is a much easier, has a reasonably good time beating you in neutral, right? In a straight one-on-one. Reaper is probably favored against you. And if you both have supports, the Reaper is definitely favored against you because he does so much more damage and he's got lifesteal. But you're going to shoot here. You get way too low. So if you want to retreat, it's when you get low like this. 430 health, Reaper in my face, right? DM for a second, then fly away. That's a good time to get away. Not like earlier when you have full health. You need to DM your Lightweaver right away. Holy shit. So you see your Lightweaver here, okay? He gets injured. He's popped tree. You can see, like in game, you'll see how low he gets. He's crazy low. He should be dead right now. You should have prioritized saving your Lightweaver there. But your soldiers can pop Visor and carry this fight. Alright, we're playing the corner again. I pretty much would never DM Orisa spam. It's like very, very low accuracy and has damage fall off as well. It's like not a good value. Don't try to DM all of spam. It's just not, it's not useful. Try to DM cooldowns instead, like actual abilities or like commitments on somebody. Good example where you should just shoot the Orisa. Just turn, right her, shoot, pop missiles, and she just dies. This is a very easy kill here. This is a bad grip, but I think he grips you because the Reaper's pressuring the front line. Oh, he's probably trying to grab the Echo. So the Echo's going to die here. Unfortunate. You should DM right away. This damage is nothing. Like, now is not your time to damage. Now you need to give space. Let's fly. So you fly here, presumably to have access to the backline after your flight. I think the correct call is just to fly backwards and regroup with your team. Because when you fly back here, you're like on the Lightweaver, but he really shouldn't die here because there's a Mercy on their team that should easily see and save him, but it's just not paying attention. Or rather, sorry, a Brig on their team. Oh, no, Brig is paying attention. Excellent. So you force tree here. I think this, again, I think this is okay. I think this is a super risky play. I think my preference would have been simply after you got pulled in by Surge, right here, is just fly back and play behind the cart. I think it's a lot safer than trying to do this shenanigans over here, because there's no reason this Lightweaver should have gotten this low against you. He's literally not dodging at all. Right? He hears, right? And he's like, oh shoot. Right? And then pops that there. There's no reason why that should have happened. You can get Mega. Brig's here. Oh no, this is bad. So you hear the Brig on the left, right? Very loud, obvious footsteps. I know she's coming from the left. All you have to do is sit in the doorway and just pop missiles and shoot at her. Break the shield, then chase her down and kill her. But because you don't body block the doorway or have the awareness of exactly where the Brig is, the Brig's going to just walk by you and kill the Mercy. That's rough. Yeah, that's kind of a throw by you. So you're going to pop bomb here, just try to remech. I understand that. I think you probably could have waited because the card's still pretty far away, but I think it's still not a terrible choice. Okay, so you have to give up some space here because you're trying to get healed. Yep, you're just waiting for the team to regroup. I would note right now, payload is only a couple meters away from capping. Who should be touching here? Is it your Ilyari? Is it your Mercy? Is it your Soldier? Is it your Echo? No, it's you, right? You have to be the one who touches here. Now, you're going to dive after the Symmetra, and you're going to kill her. Which, if you knew that was going to happen, might be worth not dropping the card and hope your teammate does it, but there's no world where you should actually kill this Symmetra. I don't really understand how this even happens. Like, all she does do is hold F here, and she goes through the teleporter, and then she's safe. But instead, she does literally nothing. Right? She does one right click, and she's like, oh god, and then just dies. I don't really know what that's about. So, regardless, I don't think this happens at higher ranks, A. But B, just drop on the card here and block the card. If you block the card here, right, blow up the Orisa, because she's already half health, blow up the Orisa, DM the Reaper, reset, and then you're good and you keep fighting. But you're not doing anything to stop the Orisa from just moving the card forwards. You can just boost into her in melee. When she see that, so as a reminder, each box is 25 health. So when she's under one box, or exactly one box, you know that she can die here instantly. So just boop into her, right? Fly into her, which does, I think, 5 damage, but then you melee, that's 35 damage, she's dead. And then you can use the rest of the flight to get back to high ground. But you're a little slow, you're gonna lose mech, this is bad. I would probably just suicide right there. Oh, if you die here, that'd be super bad. Okay, good thing you don't die here. You're gonna remech, good. There's a bunch of people up top, not a lot you can do. You hear the Reaper shooting, yep, DM. I don't think you should chase that. Again, note, Orisa here, pretty alone. Just the Reaper, Orisa, and Lifeweaver here. Opportunities to get kills. Shooting the Reaper first is fine, but I don't think I activate missiles here. Because you see how your missiles are way off target? I would have waited until you landed like on the same plane in him, right, as the ground, and then pop missiles, versus trying to pop missiles from above when he's like being evasive like that. Reaper coming in. This is super obvious Death Blossom. He hasn't Death Blossomed all game. I see him Wraith. Oh, he's using Wraith to come forwards. This is Death Blossom. I'm already DMing him right now. So because you wait so long to DM, some people take a good chunk of damage. And then he's going to end up getting bounced and then killed by your Bastion because he gets booped away from your DM. I think Whip Shot maybe, probably. Whip Shot or Bastion Grenade knocks him back. So you're going to go back and regroup. This is the right call. So, what do we do here? Well, I have to touch. I want to touch as late as possible, ideally. Another note about missiles. These missiles virtually all get wasted. Right? These missiles are just not on target. You wasted like 75% of those missiles, which is really bad. So, you go in here, right? Wasted. Okay, fine, whatever. It is what it is. So, Lifeweaver is here. Who do I go for? Lifeweaver? Orisa? Reaper? Well, you can focus somebody down who your team is focusing, but Lifeweaver currently has overhealth and the tree. The Orisa is going to get healed by Lifeweaver and the tree. The Reaper is the only one here who's not getting healed and doesn't have LOS of any supports. So I would shoot the Reaper right now, because at this range you could potentially beat him in that 1v1. You're going to pop Diva Bomb. I think that bomb is actually okay. Yeah, that bomb is okay. I think a better bomb would have been popping it in the air, like where I'm standing right now. Or just sliding at the Lifeweaver to just guarantee that the Lifeweaver is going to die. But not the worst bomb by any means. I think it's okay. So, what's the deal? Currently 3 on 3, right? I think you need to go and engage the Reaper. Don't worry about the teleporter. Engage the Reaper. Get the Reaper off your team first. Because you don't want to be fighting the Symmetra like this. This is a throw. You shoot, you pop missiles, you're trying to force it down right away. Great! Symmetra's basically using it as free health here. And now she gets a charged beam on you. And now you're taking a bunch of damage, and window goes off, and you're going to die. This is no good. So, after remeching, just stabilize, okay? Work in the Reaper. He goes here, fly over, boop him out of cover, shoot him, force Wraith, then kill him after Wraith, or he goes back. Focusing on teleporter here, wrong call. And now you're going to die. Okay. In retrospect, or changing my mind, I don't think I'm actually going to do the other tanks. I'm feeling like super tired. So I'm just going to stop in the Diva attack section, because I think you feel like you play a lot of Diva. Like, it feels like probably Diva is your main, because you open as Diva, obviously, in this situation. I think your Winston play actually looks a little better in terms of impact and skill, but I think that we'll just stop in the Diva content, Diva review for now. So recapping, I want to say number one is understand what your job is as D.Va, right? Sometimes it's diving the back line. Sometimes it's brawling the front line. Like, that happens. Sometimes it's peeling for teammates. It's going to vary depending on a whole bunch of situational factors that are way too complicated to like be able to enumerate, like say out loud, like what all the possibilities are. But I would say if a tank is near you and they're killable, kill the tank. You do way more damage. If there's one takeaway you want from this, you do way more damage than you think you do. D.Va does, again, about 140 something damage per second, and the missiles add another 75 damage a second. So it's a lot of damage. Like, do not sleep on how much damage the D.Va does. Okay, so number one, know your job. Number two, you do a lot of damage. Don't be afraid to shoot tanks and brawl tanks, especially if they're killable. But at a minimum, sometimes just to keep them off your team is good value when you don't have a good opportunity to dive anybody else. Yeah, I mean, those are the two big ones. There's obviously a bunch of micro stuff along the way. I'm trying to think what else there is. Yeah, I think that's fine. Honestly, I think it's fine just to stay at those two. So, hopefully this is helpful. Let me know if you have any questions.